Oh,
Hare Krishna.
okay, then.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Achedyo ayam adahyovyam akledyo ashosha evacha nityaha sarvagatasthānuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. Achedyaha. Ched means chedaha means to cut. So uncuttable achedyaha. Ayam. Here ayam means that jiva. Adahyohyam. Dahana, you have heard the word dahana means to burn, unburnable. That jiva is unburnable. Jiva, here he refers to any jiva, akledyaha, which cannot be drowned or wetted, ashosyaha, which is not dried out, eva means all together. All these elements can never harm the jiva. So here he says Nityaha Sarvagataha Stanuhu Achalaha Ayam Sanatanaha. Here Achalaha means it is not changed in any way. That relationship is not changed in any way. Change that relationship with what and anything. If you say Sanatanaha, Sanatanaha means similar to the supreme power who is known only by the word Veda. Because here that Sanatanaha is used in two meanings. One is the Sanatanaha means who is similar to him. Another one is who is known by the Vedas. The Sanatana means who is known by the Nada. Natana is there. No, Natana, that Nata Shabda is Nada Shabda. Because the and the can be interchanged. So Nada. Nada means the sound. The Shabda or the sound is the eternal disclosure of Paramatma, or it reveals Paramatma. So Sanatanaha means who is revealed by the Vedas. So a Paramatma who is revealed by the Vedas, revealed itself tells that it has to flash in the minds of the people. Whoever are studying it, they will have to do the contemplation, and then through the contemplation, they get flashes of knowledge about God. And that is, they find out about him. And that supreme being is the cause for the jiva to be like this, he says. Because he is like that. Jiva is dependent on the supreme being, and the supreme being is always the same. And this jiva and supreme being's relationship also does not change. That is Achalaha, they have told there to describe the that the change, there is no change in the relationship between these two. Nityaha Sarvagahata Stanuhu tells about that he is similar to the all-pervasive Paramatma. Nityaha who exists always. Sarvagataha who is omnipresent and omniscient, means he knows everything that is there to know now, in the previous Kala, and in the future also. Not just in one time frame that we can think of, but in any time frame that is there. He is always present with knowledge about everything that exists and what its future is too. I mean, it's quite thing which we cannot even imagine how a person, how an entity can do that. For our own selves, we cannot imagine what we have done through the years, even the past 1 week, what are all the can you tell me what all you did in those past 1 week, related to one, either your school or related to either what, one particular thing like what you ate or something also, it's too difficult for us to recall unless we have written it down there. So we make tables, or we make food, charts and all that. But look at this entity who can remember, not remember, he does not have to remember, he knows it. He just knows everything that the person has done through all his janmas past and right now, and also in the futures what he is going to do. At one instant he knows everything. There's nothing for him which is like time. For us there's a future, there's a past, and there's a present, but there's nothing like that for him. That's why he's called as Nityaha. Nityaha in the sense of existence, in the sense of knowledge, in the sense of the presence everywhere, and a sense of power also. So his power is never diminishing. When we are in our human body, we see that people have their own strength diminishes over time, or it might increase over time. Means it changes. It is not remaining the same. As the baby was so much like, it was dependent, not able to do anything. But as a young adult, that same person can take care of others. And when that person becomes very old and weak, then he needs care from others again. So the changes of this shows that the power within him is not the same. Like what he can exert on his own body or mind and on others is always changing. But so that does not happen with the Supreme Being. So Supreme Being is Nityaha, Nityaha and Sarvagataha. This Nityatva is for Sarvagatatva. Means all the time, everywhere he is there. And all the time, everywhere he is there, he knows. Because Gata is not just about being there. It's about knowing also. To go is to know is a word that is always used by Govindacharya to show that when in Sanskrit the word gata tells about the knowledge as well as the presence. So Sarvagataha means who is present everywhere with complete knowledge about everything. Stanuhu means all pervasive. He is there in everything. And Anuhu, if it's the Jiva, Stanuhu means who is residing inside the Jiva. I mean, who gives the existence to the Jiva by being as the Antaryami or inside. That is Stanu. Sta means to be inside, to be situated. Anu is the Jiva. So Stanu means who is inside the Jiva. And he is all pervading. So he is not just inside the Jiva, but he is inside every Jiva as well as in outer space and time. So that is like something about the Supreme Being, Sri Hari, Vishnu, Krishna, whatever name you want to call him. We call him Krishna in this instance because Krishna in the further chapters, he does tell that he is the omnipotent being and omniscient being, and he shows and discloses his form to Arjuna. So this Stanuhu is a relationship also, we can explain it in that way. And Sanatanaha explains about two things. One is that Supreme is known through the Vedas, and that Supreme is the person who is related to this Jiva for all time as the Swami or the controller. So Sarvagata Stanu is the person, if it is Anu, I mean if the Jiva is Anu, it is having the the relationship with this ever-present, omnipotent God, which is never changing for him. And the Sanatanaha means the Jiva is bound by regulations that are there in the Vedas. Same Nadanaha was to disclose that the God, that Supreme Being is revealed by the Vedas. When you apply it to the Jiva, it becomes Sanatanaha. He is that means the Jiva is bound by the regulations of the Vedas. So the Vedas describe things that we have to do and we should not do. So that is for the moral good of the soul, so that it can be uplifted. So if we follow the injunctions that are there, we are sure to be liberated. That is what is the idea. When we follow certain things, like this has to be done and this has not to be done, in schools, colleges, everywhere we have these rules, and if we follow them, it is for the good of the society as well as for our own upliftment. It follows. So the same thing is there in the Vedas for the upliftment of the soul, which is more like permanent. We just now we saw that the soul is permanent. It's not going to be changed or anything is not going to happen to it. It's not like it's going to end. the state of human existence will end. If there's any suffering of any kind also, it will come to an end. But the soul is going to be permanently there. So you have to work towards its upliftment. For that, the Vedas prescribe the do's and don'ts, and we have to follow it. So that is what Sanatana means when it is applied to the Jiva. Okay, Hare Krishna.